Hello, everybody. My name is Deysi Dominguez, and together with my classmates Victor Vergara and Catherine Bernal, below we, we will talk about the basic and general concepts that surround the subject of the foreign exchange market. Okay, we as professionals in the area of international business must have the ability to differentiate concepts that the foreign exchange market contains and the different investment and financing options that exist for a company. The foreign exchange market is one of the most important markets because of its size and because it's considered the best market of international financial markets. Here, the price of the currencies of the different countries is established, affecting as much to the financial markets as to the economy of the country and the world economy. A currency is defined as a deposit at a financial institution in a currency other than its own. However, a currency is located in the country that is with it. For example, a currency in USA dollars are located in the United States or in countries that have adopted these currencies as an instrument of exchange. Now, let's talk about the international monetary system, which is the institution where economic operations such as international payments and capital movements are carried out. Here too, the exchange rates between currencies are determined. The international monetary system has undergone change throughout different epochs and is composed of rules, agreements, institutions, mechanisms, exchange rate policies, international payments, and capital flows. The forex market is the most perfect of those that exist, as there are many buyers, many sellers, and the product that is traded is the same, the currency. The foreign exchange market can be divided into three zones: American, European, and Asian. There are two types of currency market: the interbank wholesale with 87% of transactions and the remaining 13%. Among the participants in the foreign exchange market, we can find international banks, bank customers, non-bank intermediaries, foreign exchange brokers, and central banks. Also, it's important to note that each country chooses the most appropriate exchange rate system for its own currency. So, there is no global agreement for all countries to use the same exchange rate.
We find that exchange rate systems are classified into exchange regimes with another currency as a reference, which is formal dollarization. Exchange regimes without reference currency, now as multi-unions. Some main agreements of currency board in which fixed parity between the national currency and a foreign currency is established so that they are perfectly interchangeable but through the conversion box. Conversion fixed rate agreement through a currency or basket of currencies. Phase rate. These include the forward adjustment. The exchange rate is adjusted by an experience of the fixed rate according to the expected inflation variation. On the backward adjustment, it modifies the exchange rate different by inflation. Fixed steps with original bands. Here the currency can be moved within a certain fluctuant range according to the center tip. Fixed tips of chains with adjustable bands forward and backward. Other fraction direct without marked targets. Free floating. In the foreign exchange market exchange take place between two currencies. Here the exchange rate average, which corresponds to the exchange ratio between currencies. There are some tips: buyer and seller, direct and indirect and cross tips. We see that the exchange rate is double, buyer and seller. The bid exchange rate is cheaper than the seller tip, and the difference, also called spread, is the gain that the finished instruction obtained by providing the service or foreign exchange market. Direct exchange rate, when valuing the currency in own currency. Indirect exchange rate, it is the one when generally used by financial markets, valuing currency in dollars. Crops tip is when two coins are not strong and have the market being down.
My name is Catherine Bernal, and I'm going to introduce the next topic. Also, in the foreign exchange market, we find five types of operations, such as stop transactions, that are those in which a currency is exchanged for another at a certain price, with the obligation to liquidate the currency. It means deliver the amount exchanged, no matter that 2 business days after the date the operation was performed. The second is forward transactions, that is the outright operations to term contract directly, consisting on the spot change at the time the transaction is performed, plus minimums the forward points of the requested period. The third one is forward transactions, swaps, that it consists in buying a certain currency in cash on a date and simultaneously selling it on the other term, maintaining the variable nominal. The fourth is operation transactions, that are a contract whereby the buyer has the right but not the obligation to buy or sell goods or security at a specific price and on a specific date, also known as expiration. The assets that are traded through the options can be of different types, being the most common stocks, index, currencies, commodities, and others. And the last one, that are future tradings, is a buy-sell operations that consists of determining the conditions today, but postponing the actual execution of the transaction to another time, also perfectly defined in the future. The buyer of a futures contract has the obligation to buy the corresponding assets, stocks, commodities, etc., on the due date to the seller of the futures contract that has obligation to deliver the assets to the buyer or expiration. On the other hand, there are several theories that explain the varieties of exchange rates. The most used are those based on purchasing power parity across countries, real interest rate parity, and the international future effects. Purchasing power parity between countries. It means, or it is, an economic theory that tries to calculate the exchange rate between the currency of the two countries necessarily so that the same basket of goods and services can be bought in the currency of each one. That is, so that the purchasing power of both currencies is equivalent. On the other hand, is the interest rate parity in real terms. It is a theory that describes the relationship between exchange rates, between currencies, and interest rates. It represents a state of equilibrium in which the expected profit expressed in national currency is the same for assets denominated in national currency and assets denominated in foreign currency with similar risk and term. And finally, the national future effect establishes that nominal interest rates in each country are equal to the real rate of return plus compensation required for the expected inflation. This theory suggests that difference in nominal interest rate reflect the expected changes rather than the exchange rate between countries. And at the final, we can say that these concepts are applied to the case of two financial decisions in a mutual currency context, an investments project, and the cost analysis of several financial proposals. In both cases, it is important to have a correct approach and an appropriate technical solution.